Looking for a delicious dessert that takes just minutes to make? Then you need to try Butterscotch Peach Crisp. Now this original recipe is actually created for one person. And so if you were just all by yourself, then you would just need a small bowl to mix your ingredients in. However, I'm going to be doing this for 3 people, so don't be surprised when it looks like more. I'm going to give you the ingredients as if it was for just one person, and then you just multiply by however many you need to do it. So instead of doing this in a small bowl, I am going to use a measuring cup, just so I have a little more room to work with. So the first thing that you would need is 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of brown sugar. Now you want the brown sugar to be packed, okay? Don't let it be loose. Actually make sure it's pressed down in there when you're measuring it. This, believe it or not, is the part that creates the butterscotch in the Butterscotch Peach Crisp. So you need 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar. There it is, nice and packed in there. Then you need 1 tablespoon of white flour. So 1 tablespoon for the 1 serving, 1 tablespoon of white all-purpose flour. Now, you don't have to add the next ingredient. If you happen to be using a longer bowl though, I find that it makes the topping go a little further. And like if you only have a small one, that's fine, and you can add the ingredient or not. Otherwise you might not have enough topping to go over everything, but that's okay. The next ingredient is actually the oats, and I like to add 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup of the oats. Our final dry ingredients are our spices, our flavoring. You need some flavoring, and so I'm gonna take this part off, make my life a little easier. There we go. And so for the 1 serving, you would need cinnamon, and it takes 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then just a small pinch of nutmeg. Just a few grains. It doesn't take much. My smallest measurement, of course, is this 1/8 of a teaspoon, so I'll show you. This is going to be for all 3 of them. And I don't know if you can see, but I have not filled that even full. And this is for all 3. So you just need just a pinch. You could even live without it if you didn't have it. So don't worry yourself if you're missing the nutmeg. Okay. So that is it for the dry ingredient part. So it's just been the packed brown sugar, the flour, the oatmeal if you so desire, and again if you have a longer one, and then the cinnamon and the nutmeg. And I'm just going to kind of stir this up all together. We're going to add 2 tablespoons or 1/8 of a cup or 30 milliliters of margarine per serving, okay, to the dry ingredients here. And what we will do is using our fork, kind of cut it into the ingredients. Okay, so 1/8 of a cup or 30 milliliters or 2 tablespoons of margarine per serving, however you're doing this, margarine or butter, doesn't matter. And while I have this, while I have the butter out here, the margarine out here, the other thing that we're going to do is we are going to grease the insides of our dishes. Now, you can use your fingers if you don't have any wax paper. My dad taught me years ago that you just fold some wax paper over your fingers, and you can put some margarine on here. I might even just take it from the back of the spoon because I've got some still stuck on there, and that'll clean my spoon. Like that. You don't need a ton, but you do want to make sure that you go all over the bottom and up the sides of your baking dish that you're going to use. So that did that one. Another thing I want to show you too, I just want to show you that you want one that's going to be microwave and oven safe, most especially oven safe, and then it'll also be toaster oven safe. We are going to try an experiment today, and we're going to try it in the microwave, and we're going to adjust our cooking time and see how that goes. But just make sure whatever you use, it can go in the oven. Alright, that's really, really important. Okay, the other thing you need to watch out for though when you are making this is somebody else's hands coming and stealing your peaches. Okay, now we are going to cut this in. You don't end up really mixing it. While you're mixing it, you're cutting it. Either way, what you're doing is you're making sure everything kind of gets how can I say, glommed together. And that's another reason, by the way, why I do like to add the oatmeal. I've discovered, or you could even use a little more flour, but I've discovered it doesn't quite do it the way you need it to if you don't have enough of the dry ingredient. This probably would have worked better if my butter was not already warm, but it's okay. I'm certain you get the idea. We're not going to fuss if it's not exactly right. It'll work out in the end, and I promise you it's going to be delicious. Okay, so now we're going to take our slices. If you are using canned and you happen to have diced, that's quite alright as well. So I've got 3 in there. I'm just going to make sure I have enough. Shouldn't be any problem. So just arranging them in the bottoms of our bowls, kind of like that. You just want to make sure that every bite is going to have some peaches in it. I might make another layer in here. Let's see. Ooh, that's a fat one. Right on. And since I'm actually done with my fork, if you happen to find a small one, you can eat it. Whatever. So my hands are clean. I have washed them. The idea is just going to cover the tops of these guys, which is a fun and messy business. The heat will cause all of this to melt down and create the butterscotchy part, right, from the brown sugar. So as weird as it looks, it does turn out delicious. The cinnamon smells so nice. And if you've never thought of cinnamon and peaches before, I think you're going to be in for a delicious surprise. So they're not perfectly covered. I didn't expect them to be. So now, your final step is, of course, to bake these. And we are going to put them, now you can put them in the toaster oven if you don't have an oven. So you can do these in the toaster oven, and you can do these in the oven, and you cook them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes, okay? So we're going to put, there's 2 green ones here, and we're going to put these in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes, and this one I am going to microwave. And I will tell you what I do it at, and then we'll see if it actually works. So our white one is our microwave experiment one. And here we have it, folks. So the green ones were done in the oven, and they took 15 minutes. The white one was done in the microwave. I did it for 1 minute on high. I let it rest for a little bit, and then I did it for another minute on high. But it really is that easy. So there you are, a delicious dessert that takes minutes to make, our Butterscotch Peach Crisp. If you've enjoyed this video, please please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy encouraging Christian music videos and good wholesome fun, then you might consider subscribing to our channel here. We look forward to seeing you the next time through. And in the meantime, enjoy! You can comment if you like.
I'm good. Tasty, tasty.